I'm glad you commented this because actually this brings up an important point that I want to make. Just saying here that, and to think that a lot of French people dream of living in the United States, but listening to you, they'll understand like the reality that those. So I want to say this because I am not here to discourage any French person or otherwise from any other country from living in the United States, because there is a lot of good, as I've talked about. I think this is a matter of perspective. I've lived in the United States my whole life, right? So it's been a while. And for me, we're seeking different things. I'm really glad I lived in the United States for the economic opportunities and for obviously family and friends and my schooling that I got and so many great things. I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. However, in my adult life, I have things that I want at this stage of my life, because every stage of life, every 10 years is a different season. My wife dropped something in the kitchen. It's a different season, and we have ever-changing needs and perspectives. So, I'm looking at what's her name, Frenchie Lowe, right? I can't remember her first name, but she's great. She's a great French content creator that just moved and got married to her husband in Florida, I believe they are. And she's awesome, and she's loving it, and she's celebrating being there, and I love watching that. And I don't judge her or anything. Like, I think that's cool because she's changing her perspective from everything she's been used to her whole life over to the differences in the United States, and just sometimes just the changes. I remember my French wife that I had when I was like very young, about her age actually. I was married to a French woman, and mostly to like keep her in the country. We were in love, but it was like we were young and dumb and like didn't want to say goodbye, and so we ran out of visas and we said, let's get married. But anyway, I remember he used to say to me, I want to go live in like the Midwest. I want to live in the middle of nowhere. I think that's so awesome. And I was just like, what? No, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to live on the coast near the ocean. But she was just like, it's so different. She grew up in Rouen and Tahiti. She was living in Tahiti. So she was living in what most people would consider like absolute paradise. So for her to live in the middle of cow pastures was like so interesting, the American Midwest. So again, there's no right or wrong here. It's just kind of what interests you at this stage of your life. So anyway, the United States has a lot to offer. I would not say it has to offer healthy food unless you're in a very specialized situation where you're with a bunch of people growing their own food and raising their own cattle, as I've talked about before. So you're going to, but in every situation, you're going to have a downgrade. Like some people would say, move to France, get a downgrade in customer service and this, that, and the other thing. And, moving to the United States, you're going to have a downgrade in food. So there's always going to be pluses and minuses. And this is not about making France right and the United States wrong or any other country right and the US wrong.